What is the worst thing that is legal? I'm just gonna have to say little girls' beauty pageants. It just doesn't sit right with me. And not only because of the fact it's creepy, but I feel like it's stressful on the kid and on their body image. Oh my god, yes. This 100% horrifying shit. College book prices and practices. Change a few words in a math book. That'll be another $100 please. Oh, you realized that you can use the book from 10 years ago and succeed. Actually, we require you get the new book. Oh, you realized you can get the book cheaper from a friend? Actually, we are doing online books now, and you need the personalized code. We change it every year, even though there have been no breakthroughs in this subject. Knowing the college struggle, I have no ducking clue how this is allowed to exist. It should literally be illegal. Even worse when professors say you need a certain textbook in a few weeks, then they never actually use it. Worst $80 I have ever spent. The fact car radio commercials are allowed to have police sirens or car crashes in them as a way to get your attention. As someone who survived a car crash with back damage, I shudder when those ads come on. Like, imagine how someone else who got into a much worse accident would feel. People who have been in accidents don't need a reminder of what it sounded like. The size of the X button on pop-up ads. X buttons that do nothing. Or X buttons on mobile that take you to the link anyway. God, I couldn't tell you how many times I've gotten caught in that ducking loop. Robocalls. Bothering someone with something they paid for. And now I'm getting robo-texts several times a day. I really have to get around to buying that extended car warranty. Data caps on home internet. We have a 120 GB data cap for a family of 6. In lockdown, the provider had a promotion where everyone got unlimited data, including us. We have tried to upgrade to an unlimited plan, but they gave some BS excuse about how the server traffic is clogged, like it was completely fine for the promotion. I'm 99% sure they know we always pay extra for data after we run out and don't want us to save money by upgrading. Edit. I appreciate everyone suggesting me to tell the provider to shove it, but I failed to mention that I'm 15 and that's up to my parents. I don't give a shit. You offered a promotion and I want it. Isn't that called bait and switch or something? Sounds illegal. Selling textbooks at ridiculous prices, or selling a new copy every year with no significant change. The true crime. Buying a book for $300 and 6 months later it's worth $50. I got offered $1 one time. I grabbed my book and left. Was honestly insulting that they'd even offer that kind of money. My fraternity used row burned them in the fireplace. After paying $200 for a book and then getting offered $2 at the buyback, it was worth more as entertainment. 'Twas a great yearly bonfire we had each April, fueled by months of rage, pain, suffering and about $10k in textbooks. Caller ID spoofing. Somebody spoofed my number and my name came up on the caller ID apparently. I got a text from some irritable person demanding why I was harassing them. I tried to explain what spoofing was, but they sent me the screenshot of my name on their caller ID and asked if it was me. I imagine this person googled me and did all kinds of shit and decided I was a bad person in this. I feel like my privacy was totally violated. In that case, I feel like the victim on the other end is the actual spoofer. I can't prove it, but they always seem the most upset over phone calls when they can just easily block you. One time someone called from out of state and said they had missed calls from me. I told them I don't know, man. It's probably that robocall bullshit. Just block my number. I hung up and blocked their number. Socks. Fits size 6 to 12. Bullshit. Also unrealistically low serving sizes on packs of crisps or candy. They do this just so they can put the number of calories /fat /sugar per serving as a lower number. I saw an off-brand Oreo that said 1/3 the calories per serving as Oreo. Their serving size was 1. Oreos was 3. Friend in college was super health conscious because he was pretty heavy as a kid. He loved to eat a bag of butter-free popcorn every day. He'd spray "I can't believe it is not butter" on the popcorn, using about a half bottle each bag. One day he decided he should check into the fat-free claim on the bottle. It turned out that they could claim it was fat-free if each serving was less than 1 gram of fat. There were 160 servings at nearly a gram of fat per serving. He ended up eating an 80 grams of fat bag of popcorn each day. It's a great laugh when he found out, but horrible that they could get away with this. I think the fat content in I can't believe it is not butter is the least of his health concerns in regards to what is in that shit. Spice/cater/synthetic weed. This may have changed in the last few years, but I found it embarrassing that our country locks up thousands for actual marijuana, but allowed that shit to be sold at every gas station and liquor store knowing damn good and well that it was hurting and killing people. It was finally banned here, Japan, and then it became a black market drug. Of all the brain dead stupid, the only reason to try spice was that it was a legal alternative to illegal drugs. The shit's horrible. And everyone I know, myself very much included, sooner or later had a very bad experience on it. Why would anyone risk breaking the law for a drug that is neither addictive nor fun? Hearing a honking sound in a radio commercial, or sirens. Some car insurance radio commercial had the sound of a ducking car crash. Yep, there's one that's been on the radio that's like this, but worse. First off, the volume of its commercial seems to be 3x louder than anything else on the station. Then, you hear the sound of loud screeching tires coming from the right side of your car, getting louder and quickly approaching, with a loud crash with both speakers, making you near certain your car has just been struck. I have no idea how it's still legal. I've almost crashed multiple times from it. Impossibly hard to cancel subscriptions. It should be law that you can cancel the same method you used to sign up. I think California might actually have a law like this. You can look up where anyone lives because it's public record. But can we please not have entire websites with databases full of every person in the country? Question mark? I mean, think about people who get denied restraining orders and try to move away from their abuser. 6 months later, and their abuser can just look up their name and find them all over again. This could be detrimental for spouse abuse victims, stalking victims, etc. Something should be done about them. It's terrifying. In some states you have to legally notify your attacker, the person you have a restraining order against, where you live, so they know to avoid it. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard of. Putting unrelated crap into bills to sneak it into law. I know they are supposed to follow some kind rules related to germaneness, but they clearly don't, and clearly need actual laws with actual punishments for pulling this crap. Payday loan practices. Technically not illegal, but hella predatory. How does it work? I think it's those advertisements that say, get your check in advance. So basically it's like a short-term loan, where you get $1-2K and the idea would be to just pay it back with your paycheck that comes in a week or so, except that as noted below, the interest rates are insane and there are late fees, so instead of paying back just your paycheck amount you'd be paying a lot more. Edit. Apologies if you wanted more detail and you already knew what I said. Oops if so. Marital rape and honor killings in countries like the one I live in, generally the Middle East. Most of that stuff is in the process of being banned now, thank God. When I was in middle school/high school, they tried to introduce a law that said a girl must be 18, I think, to be married. The men of the government and religious officials objected so hard that the law got thrown out. This was the year after the story came out about that one 9-year-old kid that was forced into a marriage and the man would chain her and whatnot. Civil asset seizure by police, no crimes needed. Multi-level marketing. But don't you want to be your own boss babe for life by sharing and distributing ardetoxing nutrition drinks that give you 6 of your 5 a day/s? This whole acting like they're doing the person a favor is why MLM will never die out. At best it'll rebrand as something else. That's why it's been going on thousands of years. I mean, even the ancient Egyptians had pyramid schemes. I don't know if that was a pun based on the pyramids, but I'm entertained by the thought of Cleopatra trying to sell me essential oils and trashy leggings. Sweet shop labor outsourced by tech and Fortune 500 companies. It's essentially contemporary slavery we collectively allow. but a whole dinner set at Walmart for only $9.95. Not the worst thing, but it used to be illegal for commercials on TV to be louder than the actual show, but not any longer suddenly. Honestly, all of TV and movies seem to have gotten shitty recently with their audio levels. It seems even in every movie I watch now you can't hear them while they're talking, but explosions are louder than actual explosions. TV and cinema need to learn about normalizing their audio. I get it, you want an action scene to be loud and intense, but I also want to be able to watch a movie with the wife without waking my 6-year-old up. I learned recently that you might be able to fix this by adjusting your TV settings. Some TVs have a clear voice or similar that makes voices louder. A parent keeping their kid from the other parent when there's no good reason to, and leveraging the courts to do it. This enrages me so much. How many parents have practically lost their children to narcissists and psychopaths because of this? And because the kids get brainwashed out of a relationship, it's hard to ever get in touch again, even when they have grown out of the other one's reach. Edit. I get teary-eyed both with remembered grief and a little bit of hope from all your comments. Thank you. Keep raising awareness about parental alienation, full custody, unfair laws, etc. The world will hopefully get better someday. Scam calls and solicitation calls. I swear they used to be illegal at one point. Scam calls are not legal. They just know how to not get caught. The troubled teen industry. Parents pay a company to kidnap kids while they are sleeping and send them off to therapeutic boarding schools where they are abused in every conceivable way. It's ducked. Wait. What? My brain is so confused. This exists? Like, sure. Troubled teen boarding school. Probably a super ducked place, but whatever. I get how it can exist. It's that kidnapping part I'm pretty confused by. Being penalized for calling out sick from work. Edit. Even while the whole world is trying to survive this pandemic, we're still dealing with this major issue by employers. I work in healthcare, and I feel like I get shamed by my managers and coworkers when you call out, especially when you work night shift. I once worked at an Old Navy for a few months. I was one of their best workers and all the managers, there were like 6, loved me. But I got sick and had to call out for just 2 days. 2 days. And the scheduling manager gave me 6 hours a week for months after. I couldn't afford to eat for months because she was punishing me for being sick for 2 days. Even the other managers would question why I wasn't working as much, and I'd just shrug and tell them to ask the scheduling manager. I eventually had to quit and move states to go back to live with my parents because, even with free housing, living with a very generous friend, I couldn't afford to live on my own. That's crazy. Child marriage. To tack on, child marriages and where they cannot legally divorce until they are 18. Found out the other day. Excuse me? Exclamation mark. So you're saying they can be tricked/forced/etc into marriage, but they aren't considered competent enough to get out? Question mark. That is an extra layer of ducked up. Congress members being able to trade stocks at the same time they are receiving intelligence and passing laws that could affect the performance of said stocks. This isn't legal. They're just never actually held accountable, which makes it even more infuriating. Child beauty pageants. Being forced to fork up your personal data and access to everything in your phone to use a stupid app that makes a picture of your dog sing. It should not be allowed at all. Edit. This applies to many apps. I didn't have just one in mind. Going to agree and edit. Having to provide your phone number or email for anything at all that is unnecessary. Sometimes you want to access a site or read an article, but you can't because they require you to sign up or something. Super lame. I just don't do it then. Also understand why, but getting tired of these sites that advert 10% off your first order when you sign up for our newsletter. Apostrophe. Political action committees. 10 years later, it's exactly what people feared. It's so much worse. For-profit prisons. I used to lobby at the state level. For-profit prisons would literally lobby against things like early child education and paid family leave because, well, It's bad for business. And to be clear, I did not lobby for private prisons, but did lobby for things like paid family leave and early childhood education. WTF. That is some next level dystopian bullshit right there. This makes my blood boil. Yeah, what the duck? I'd ask how they sleep at night, but I just assume they don't have a soul and don't need sleep. Advertisements for prescription medicine help patients lie to their doctors. I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. There was a commercial I saw a year ago to help women with endometriosis. I have it and exhausted all other options to help with the pain. The drug that was advertised I brought up to my gynecologist, and it ended up saving me from being in so much pain every day. I also could stop my opioids. You know how, when you commit a crime and get caught, you get charged in the country where you committed the crime. So if you murder someone, you'll get charged in said country. And then there are the international waters. Every ship above 100 GT have to be registered. And if it's registered, the laws of the country where it's registered apply to the ship. But if you had a smaller boat, no laws apply. But if you killed someone on said ship, you'd be charged in the country where the person is a citizen. But there are ways someone can lose their citizenship in certain countries. And thereby, if I kill a citizen-less person on a boat under 100 GT in international waters, even if there was evidence, no one can bring me to court. Thereby, it's legal. Taking notes intensifies. Also, you can kill someone in the death zone in Yellowstone. But that's a well-known perfect crime. I feel like I've heard this mentioned before, but always forgot to do a follow-up. How does that work? It's across 2, I think. Maybe more. I don't live in the US, states. By law, the judge and jury have to be from the state where the murder took place. If it's across more states, it needs to be from both or more states. No one lives in Yellowstone, so the court can't assemble, and you can't be prosecuted. Yellowstone is a national park though. They could have a federal court prosecute the crime. Co-workers that don't shower. Coworkers that don't flush the toilet. Permanently destroying huge areas of natural land. Nearby from where I live, there's a development corporation in my hometown that has bought up virtually all of the remaining woods, meadows and wetlands in the area, paved them, and built retail spaces that go vacant just a few months later. Businesses aren't even moving into these places, but the group just keeps spreading out and developing. It seems like every month, I drive past another level tract of land. Frankly, it's terrible. Unskippable double ads. YouTube's also getting real comfortable with almost 30 seconds unskippable ads. Yes, and their 5-second skip button is getting less frequent and also seems to last longer than 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's 7 seconds. The time only starts counting when there is 5 seconds remaining. Are media driving a wedge between the populace to fuel division in order to satisfy ratings, purely for the purpose of entertainment and profit, not facts? Anger equals curiosity equals people click on those news articles, click those links, etc. Meaning the company generates ad revenue. Ever notice how almost every local news website looks like a porn website from like 1998? Advertisements all over the place for nonsense malware infected websites. Puppy mills. Yes, some states they're still legal, and where they're illegal, irresponsible backyard breeders are legal. Hey PSSST, please subscribe and like.